Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Eamonn Holmes had always been the picture of composure. Viewers knew him as the unflappable, witty television presenter, the man whose smile could brighten even the gloomiest morning on live TV. But behind that polished exterior, a storm had been quietly brewing. It began with a letter, an envelope so unassuming that at first he almost tossed it aside. The handwriting was familiar, impossibly so, curling across the paper with a precision that made his chest tighten. It was from his sister, someone he hadn't seen in years, someone whose absence had left a quiet hole in his life. The letter hinted at truths long buried, family secrets that had been whispered in hushed tones during his childhood, but were never fully acknowledged. Eamonn sat down, the weight of anticipation pressing on his shoulders. Each line he read felt like peeling back a layer of his own history, exposing him to memories he had tried to forget. There were stories of betrayals, regrets, and misunderstandings that had fractured their family silently over decades. And at the heart of it all was the revelation that a tragedy he had always blamed himself for, the sudden loss of a cousin he loved dearly, was not as he had believed. It wasn't an accident, not entirely. The truth was more painful, more complex, and more haunting than he could have imagined. As the tears came, Eamonn's professional mask crumbled. It happened in the quiet of his study, far from cameras and scripts. He let himself feel every pang of grief, every surge of guilt and sorrow that had been locked away. He realized that his laughter on television, his warm banter, even his calm advice to viewers had been, in part, a shield against the heartbreak that had shadowed his life since childhood. The revelations didn't just stop at the past, they reverberated into the present. There were apologies to be made, reconciliations long overdue, and conversations he had avoided for years. Family dynamics, once thought unshakable, needed mending. Eamonn found himself calling old relatives, speaking words he had never dared to speak, and listening with an openness he hadn't known he possessed. The process was messy, raw, and yet profoundly healing. What struck him most was the resilience of love. Despite betrayals and heartbreak, his family, flawed, complicated, human, was still there. Their shared memories, laughter, and even tears created a tapestry of connection that no secret could completely unravel. Eamonn realized that grief and revelation, while devastating, could also be transformative. The pain he had carried for years began to reshape into understanding, empathy, and a deeper bond with those he had once held at arm's length. By the end of the week, Eamonn Holmes returned to work with a different kind of strength. On air, his smile was gentler, his laughter tinged with vulnerability, his words carrying a weight of truth that resonated with viewers in a new way. People noticed something different, not the collapse of a public persona, but the emergence of a man who had faced his pain and chosen to honor it rather than hide it. In breaking down, Eamonn Holmes didn't fall apart. He became more real, more human, more alive. His story reminded everyone watching that even those who seem unshakable carry hidden wounds, and that facing those wounds, however painful, can be the beginning of true healing.